welcome to another edition of Talk with Confidence. This is where we have inspirational conversations with inspirational people. Today we have author and motivational speaker Tiisang Masoko in studio with us. Tiisang, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for accepting the invite. We've been looking forward to having you here. Can you just tell us a little bit about who Tiisang is?
I'll give a brief. Tiisang is a professional and in IT, a program administrator, and then personally I'm a mother and a sister. I'd like to think I'm a grandchild as well. Yeah, that's me summed up.
Okay, where did Tiisang grow up?
Oh, I grew up in a village in Pella. It's based in Northwest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and your childhood, can you describe your childhood for us? Tiisang at 10 years old, what were you doing?
Tiisang at 10 years old was going to primary, loved karate and played soccer.
Okay, loved karate?
Yes.
So you were a bully at school?
Not really. It was self-defense.
Self-defense, okay. So going from primary into high school, you're an author. You wrote a very thick book. It's quite thick. It's about 500 pages.
Yes.
Yeah, no, people are writing out there. But what got you into writing? When did you discover your love for writing?
I think it wasn't even love. I grew up as a person who liked expressing herself.
Okay.
So in my years of growing up, and I think I was an introvert.
Okay.
Because you know how when you have problems, you go and talk to somebody. When I had problems, I went to my diary.
Okay. So your diary became your friend?
Yes.
Okay. And what made you do that? Why didn't you want to go and speak to other people and rather choose to, lock yourself up and start scribbling?
I don't know, it just came automatic to me. But now that I'm looking back and I'm realizing it, it was my way of my spirit letting me know about my life, So, because you will see it on my second book, it's literally, somehow, it feels like I had to record my life journey to be able to be a motivational speaker, So I think it came naturally to me.
In the writing process, especially when you're writing, in a diary, there's a lot of introspection. There's a lot of conversation with yourself.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you learned about yourself as you were writing in your diary?
The one thing I learned about myself, and this is why I shared my experience, because in this book there is WhatsApp chat between me and my ex, there is emails between me and him, and there's WhatsApp chat between me and the baby mama. Okay. And in between, it's my letters to God, it's my letters to self, like where I was having conversation with myself, because when you go through a breakup, it's a matter of you need to train your brain that whatever routine you used to have has to change. If you used to go out with this person on a Friday, now you need to find something on a Friday to do.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you're gonna idle on the what could have been, or what if this didn't happen, then I would be here. So you're stuck in that moment. It's like that breakup now owns your life.
You've touched on the book content. By the way, the name of the book is Aspire to Inspire, a beautiful title, and the subtitle says Diary of a Healing Heart.
Yes.
You've mentioned some of the content that is in there, but what is the core of the book? What is the book about?
The book is about a young woman who went through a journey of healing there's different ways people use, but this one was me using writing as a therapy. And in that I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about a human being in nature, of how does your brain get consumed by something that hurts you. and then it controls your life going forward.
It influences other areas
in your life as well. Yeah.
Okay. So can you relate the story? What was the story that from the core of the book was? So you're talking about your ex. You mentioned baby mama. I was going through, and there's a conversation with a side chick. So there's something. There's something that's cooking in the book. What is that dish? What's cooking in the book? What is the story?
I think in nowadays we a lot of people find themselves in a love triangle. Okay, and there's many things that leads into that triangle. But today we're gonna talk about the love triangle itself. So I was dating this guy. We were working together, and then. During the dating of him, I found that he was actually having me as a side chick. I wasn't the main woman.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm thinking at myself at the age of 27, side chick.
Something is not right.
I'm like, either there's something wrong with me or there's something wrong with the guy. But what I learned is, as human beings, we don't know much about ourselves.
Yes.
And I would urge everybody right now who's going through a breakup, and I'll tell you to stop moving and start interrogating your whole entire life, so that you can understand yourself.
Yes.
Number one. Number two is to understand that how you function and how your emotion can eventually control your entire life without you being aware that it's controlling your entire life.
So in finding out that this person was actually, you were the side chick in that triangle, you speak of how such a thing can affect other areas. How did it affect your other areas in your life?
It's a matter of now you start, because you start questioning, is there something wrong with me? Why am I failing at my relationships?
Yeah.
And then the other part is your confidence goes down, your self-esteem goes down. You start wondering, you start hating yourself, but not. It doesn't come like I hate myself. It comes slowly. It comes slowly.
Creeps up on you.
Yeah, and it builds up, and you start hating yourself in a way. And I think if I didn't sit myself down, I would have been one of those people who are bitter in life about relationships.
Yes.
I would have probably tried to find another boyfriend, and what I was gonna do with that guy? I was gonna hurt him because I'm hurt myself.
Yes, that's true.
I haven't went through the healing and understanding what went wrong and what am I doing wrong and what's happening in me and what is this thing called love that I'm letting it to control my life.
Or what you think is love.
Yes.
So
you need to get to that point and interrogate it to such an extent. Because if I'm going to say, let's say maybe, because there was a point when I could have continued being a side chick.
So you have that option.
Yes.
Yeah.
I could have continued being a side chick. And if I continue being a side chick, do I really love myself?
Are you? Because then it means you've chosen to say, you know what, I'm second class.
Yes.
I don't deserve to be in a solid, stable, good foundation relationship
with someone.
Yeah.
And besides also being I'm not solid, it means I'm saying I'm happy making another woman sad because now I want to share this man with him.
Yeah.
And it's not even about polygamy or anything. This is just a relationship. It's like now I'm saying I need to make myself feel better by competing with her and saying I'm the best.
I mean, in today's times, you do find a lot of women who are the side chick and who know they are the side chick, but they remain in that state. What would you say to women who are in that particular state?
For me, it will be a matter of one needs to do self introspection and come to an understanding of how your life got to a point where you can accept making another person be hurt.
Yeah.
You know, because you are hurting another human being. When I'm in a relationship with you and your woman thinks, maybe your baby mama thinks that it's just the two of you and you guys are building a future together. But I'm here and my aim, obviously, every side chick's aim is to break the relationship. Unless you didn't know that there was an existence of a relationship. And then at that point, it's also a point of, are you going to continue or are you going to leave? You know?
Yeah.
So it's what drives you as a person to get to a point where you want to hurt other people and thinking that hurting them is making yourself happy.
The title, subtitle, as I said, is Diary of a Healing Heart. So, for me, the important part is healing heart. So, in writing this book, you were in effect healing yourself.
Yes.
So, have you healed, or is it still a process that is continuing?
No, I have completely.
Okay, and how do you know that you have healed? How does one know that one is healed from such an event or, such a breakup?
You know, the first thing, I went on with my life and I discovered, because the other reason why I say go and do introspection is I discovered things about my life that conditioned my mindset. And that's the next book called Diary of a Changing Mindset.
Yeah.
So that's why I say introspection is because you find yourself in a position only to find out things that happened in the past led you to be where you are today.
So it didn't just happen overnight. There was a progression.
Yes. There was a progression of incidences that led me to be where I was there.
Wow, that's quite powerful. And do you mind sharing some of those? Like what are the, because to get to that particular place, as you say, it's not an overnight journey.
No.
There are things that have happened in your past that lead you to that particular place. And I mean, a few minutes ago, we were talking about women who find themselves in that place,
yes,
but choose to stay in that place. So what are some of the things that can contribute to a person's getting into that place where, they're a side chick, but they're willing to stay? What are some of the experiences that one may have gone through?
You might have been in a relationship where you loved someone truly, and then that person had another woman in it. So you got hurt, and eventually when you go out there, you realize many people are doing it.
Oh, so it becomes normal.
It becomes normal.
Wow.
If you don't get yourself out of it, you ain't gonna go out of it.
Yeah.
And now you gotta ask yourself, is this the life that I want to live my whole entire life? And the one thing is, we look for happiness outside us. That's, and such that being a side chick gives you happiness outside you, because you get spoiled as a side chick. A guy exaggerates on everything and anything.
Yeah.
So yes, and that time you're actually not exactly holding on to the guy. You're holding on to the instant gratification that comes with the things that he's doing for you.
Yeah.
So it means your world alone without the guy is a sad world. But you find happiness in the things so you don't know how to make yourself happy. So the only way is to grab onto this guy. It's like a kid who finds a sweet nice. Every time they'll think, "Mommy, I don't want to eat this food. But when you think about the sweets, when you tell them you're gonna get the sweets, then they start eating the food.
Yes.
So that's how it happens.
And I mean, talking of sweet, it's something that is unhealthy.
Yes.
So I mean, that type of relationship where you find yourself in the triangle and you are the side chick, it's unhealthy.
No. Because at some point, I arrived at a point where I asked myself, maybe if this woman wasn't part of the whole situation,
yes,
me and this guy can be happy.
If she wasn't in the equation.
Yes.
But I mean, also, if you're dating a guy who's willing to have a side chick, it says something about the character of the guy.
Yes, it does.
So even, just stemming off from what you said, even if you decide, you know what, if this woman wasn't in the picture and maybe she goes out of the picture, will you be secure with such a person?
No. It's not.
Yeah.
It's because it's psychological. It's the behavior is the mindset of that person. So until that person, you can't change the person. Until that person changes themselves, then they can behave better. Then they can understand. Because what I learned in my Diary of a Changing Mindset is that certain pains trigger us to behave a certain way,
yes,
in life.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, we come from a a background of people who were in poverty, people who had parents who were fighting in their homes. That has affected our behavior as adults today.
Yes. So the instabilities of relationships, whether it was relationship between the father and the mother at home, whether it's personal relationships, those instabilities have now been carried through into present relationships.
Carry through because they affect the way you think about a relationship.
Yes.
You start thinking, oh, my mom was weak. Why was she letting my dad beat her every time? You know, or you start thinking, oh, my mom knew that my dad was cheating, but my mom stayed in a relationship. So you start building a concept about relationship yourself, and it graduates with time. And when your experiences add on top, now it becomes a volcano.
Yeah. As I love the subtitle, I'm gonna keep going to the healing heart. So such people have not healed from what they saw at home.
They've lived with the pain and made it part of themselves.
Oh wow, that's quite deep.
And now it affects their psychological behavior, their thinking, and your thinking. That's why on my next book it says Diary of a Changing Mindset. It's your thinking gets affected by those things. So until you break down and try to understand how to correct your thinking and how to position yourself in life, then you won't go anywhere. You will end up in chaos after chaos and chaos. Because I used to think when I was growing up, guys, when is it gonna say hulukile? When are we getting to the point where we're saying hulukile all along?
It'll get well. Yeah. When
will you get to a point where you say, guys, hulukile, like kishapu, life is okay, like I'm happy, guys, like you're right.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think it's a place that a lot of people want to get to. But as you rightly mentioned, it's all about the healing. Because once you've healed, it means that those wounds are not gushing out blood, even though they've become scars. But they're scars that you've learned from. You know.
And the minute you've learned from an incident, you're now in a better position to make a proper decision making. You're not going to make a decision because, I met Confidence and is driving a BMW, so I think me and Confidence will make a great couple. You make a decision from a deeper perspective than just the fact of what the person has.
It moves from the materialism and then it goes into the deeper things. I mean, we've been speaking about women who stay in that state. No? For me, it's also about what vision do you have for your life? Because remaining in that state means that you are stagnating. It means that there are opportunities that you are now closing to yourself simply because you are staying in that particular relationship, toxic relationship.
And I'll tell you one thing while you're on that point about it means you don't have a vision of your own life. The only way an incident of that of the moment you got hurt, let's say the breakup with my ex, the only way it could own me was because I didn't have a vision of my own life.
You couldn't see yourself apart
from him.
So the solution then could be that if you start developing a vision for your life, saying, you know what, with this person out of the picture, then it means there are more opportunities. It means that there is a better place that I can go to, the dreams that I have that I want to achieve.
Yeah, because at that moment, while I was going through this, so I juggled the healing while I'm getting to know and like what's happening and everything. And I'm interested, while I was doing the self-evaluation. And then I realized, you know what, Tiisang, you're only caught in this person because you don't have a vision of your life. And that day, I was studying my honors that year. So I was studying my honors, I faced my ex every day at work. And I was doing my book and then I had to heal at the same time. So during that point I said, okay, fine, you're doing your book, you're doing your honors, you're turning 30 in a year's time. And I was like, you know what, then at 30 we're having a birthday party that has 3 celebrations in it. So it's gonna be the book, it's gonna be the honors, and it's gonna be your birthday. And you're gonna have the 3 cakes. And I said, I'm going after it.
Wow, powerful.
And then that moment I shifted my mind from him, and I now had things that I had to do. And at the same time I was healing to understand what was happening with me. Then I managed to come out and say, hulukile, guys.
We have reached the point of
hulukile, guys. Hulukile. I'm not saying hulukile, guys.
Beautiful. I love that. As I said, the book It's quite thick, but I've been going through it. Very interesting stuff. And you've been mentioning also your next book.
Yes.
Can we touch a little bit without giving too much away? But
Yes.
it's a next step from Diary of a Healing Heart, and you said it's the subtitle
Diary of a Changing Mindset.
So now you've dealt with healing the heart.
Yes.
Now it's about changing the mindset.
It's changing about the mindset because it's one thing to win the battle, but it's another thing to learn from the battle and become a better person and develop a new pattern of thinking from the winning of the battle. You know, so that's the next book. What it's dealing with, it's dealing about emotional, the integration between emotional and spiritual being of your life. It's called Life Starts With You, Diary of a Changing Mindset.
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to reading that as well.
So on that book I'm covering the understanding of a very shocking book, the understanding of the smaller things you do as an adult, how they actually, what the end result of it is in a person. Like if I'm a woman and I stay in an abusive relationship, what are the long-term impacts on my child's life? That I'm thinking I'm keeping my child here because I need the money and everything else, whereas there is God who gave you a gift, and you were supposed to use that gift to supply for your own needs. And you don't need to be dependent on another person. You know, so it touches base on that, and how actually the two books are going to show every woman how your child's psychological being gets affected and their mindset gets affected if you make a decision to stay in an abusive relationship or in an unhealthy environment,
because that also affects their view on relationships and life and their own self-worth, you know. Wow, okay, I think you're quite loaded. You're quite loaded, and we're looking forward to that book. If people want to get hold of this book, where can they buy one? Maybe share some of your contacts, maybe social media links.
You can WhatsApp if you want the book. You can WhatsApp me on 079-365-8401.
Okay.
And then you can also get it on my African Buy online if you have a subscription there. They have it available. So I usually use Postnet to courier the book to everywhere in the country.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Tiisang Masoko, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. It's been quite entertaining as well, but quite deep as well in terms of the things we've been discussing. So thank you once again.
Thank you for choosing me on a Woman Crash Wednesday.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I'm sure you've learned a lot from that. That was inspirational. I'm inspired. I'm sure you're inspired as well. And you've been watching Talk with Confidence right here on Global Conference Television. Eitada.